Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into a truly chilling narrative from the horror source Cooney Monday. We are going to unpack exactly how a perfectly normal, romantic getaway just completely spirals into an inescapable nightmare. We'll look at how that feeling of utter dread is systematically constructed. So let's jump right in.
Imagine stepping out of your car in a totally strange place and immediately hearing this. The wedding procession is coming from the bungalow. Hide quickly. Right? That terrifying warning from a panicked old woman in a red sari basically plunges us straight into the dark mysteries of today's story. It sets this tone of immediate, unexplained danger right from the get-go.
Now, to understand how our protagonists fell into this trap, we really need to look at the couple themselves. It's a classic case of opposites attract. On one hand, you have Nisha. She's a writer, she's deeply fascinated by ruins, and she absolutely loves dark stories and mysteries. And then on the other side, we've got Arav. He's a photographer, so he relies strictly on his camera to capture, objective reality. Arav really just wanted to surprise Nisha with a beautiful, secluded birthday camping trip out in the woods. But it's exactly these contrasting worldviews that are absolutely crucial to how they each experience the horror that follows.
Let's take a quick look at the timeline here. They depart from home at a super normal time, right around 4 p.m., just for a short road trip. By 6 p.m., they roll into this village called Rudhirpur. But then, literally mere minutes later, this oppressive, unnatural darkness just swallows the entire village. It's like a totally normal afternoon drive is instantly suffocated the second they cross the village threshold. The streets of Rudhirpur are completely, totally deserted. But here's the catch. Outside every single home, there are burning torches lit. Every door is painted blood red, and they're heavily marked with these black, cryptic mantras. These definitely aren't just spooky Halloween decorations, okay? They are crystal clear signals that this place is governed by some very dark, ancient rules.
So the really crucial point here is how our characters actually react to this insane environment. Arav, being a photographer, instinctively raises his camera to document this strange, terrifying place. But this brings up a massive question for us to consider. What did Arav actually see through his lens? Like when he looks away from plain sight and through that glass, what unseen horrors is his camera actually picking up?
While the answer is pure nightmare fuel. Through the camera, he witnesses this horrifying premonition. It's a vision of Nisha walking into the dark, literally holding hands with a faceless groom whose hands are dripping with blood. And surrounding them, chanting women dressed as ghost brides. I mean, no way, right? But then, when Arav lowers the camera and turns around, the vision vanishes instantly. Poof! There's just a perfectly normal Nisha standing there claiming she was simply looking for a restroom near some distant bungalow. It's like the camera is acting as a window to this hidden, sinister layer of reality.
Section 1. The Bonfire Photographs. Shaken but desperately trying to keep this whole birthday trip alive, Arav and Nisha go ahead and set up camp by the river. Now, this sequence is where the horror truly escalates. Step 1. Arav snaps what's supposed to be a casual photo of Nisha smiling by the campfire. Step 2. He checks the digital screen and bam! It reveals that same faceless groom standing right behind her in the dark. And step 3 is where the absolute sheer panic sets in, because with every subsequent photo he takes, the demonic groom creeps closer. And honestly, the worst part, when Nisha looks at those exact same photos, she sees absolutely nothing wrong. Just beautiful pictures of herself. The horror here is completely customized. It's targeting only the observer.
Section 2. Thematic Intermission, Season of Screens.
All right, so we're going to take a super brief intermission to talk about that exact adrenaline rush you are probably feeling right now. The source material actually seamlessly integrates a celebration of the horror genre directly into the story, highlighting a specific movie lineup brought by PVR Enox called The Season of Screens. This lineup is packed with intense films like Ready or Not, Boot Bangla, Lee Cronin's The Mummy, and Hukum. And hey, there's even a bonus complimentary drink and popcorn combo for early viewers. It kind of reminds us that the psychological terror Arav and Nisha are facing is, well, it's exactly the kind of thrill we all crave on the big screen. Okay, intermission over, back to the nightmare.
Section 3. The Illuminated Bungalow.
So, deep in the night, that ruined, distant bungalow Nisha pointed out earlier, it suddenly lights up, like it's hosting this grand celebration right in the middle of a dead forest. This is the exact moment where Arav's reality completely splits from Nisha's. On one hand, you have Arav's absolute torment. He is wide awake hearing this terrifying chanting outside their tent, and seeing that phantom groom outside every single red door in his photos. Meanwhile, on the other hand,
Nisha is just sleeping peacefully, totally oblivious. Arav is left completely, entirely alone to face whatever terrifying reality is echoing outside.
Section 4. Inside the Phantom Palace.
The following evening, after a seemingly normal day of trekking, that glowing bungalow lures them right back. And, driven by curiosity, they make the absolutely fatal decision to step through its doors. Inside, the place is decorated like a magnificent royal palace. We're talking 56 types of lavish feasts, a traditional chapanbog, all served up on pure silver plates. But here's the thing, it is completely empty of any living humans. And honestly, the most unsettling detail of the whole shebang, despite all that fresh food, the air is thick with the sickening smell of dead flowers. It's this unimaginable luxury layered directly over the unmistakable scent of death.
And then, the pacing just drops into pure, unadulterated panic. Their escape route vanishes as these massive, heavy wooden doors slam shut entirely on their own. The ghostly chanting from the village starts up again, echoing through the halls. And then, the phantom groom from Arav's photographs finally manifests in physical reality. He's slowly descending the stairs, holding a dried marital garland.
The climax unfolds with horrifying speed. Arav tries to run, right? But his feet are just supernaturally rooted to the ground. Nisha's eyes turn completely white. She completely loses all free will, walking toward the groom like a lifeless puppet. When Arav tries to intervene, this half-dead groom violently chokes him and literally throws him across the room. Paralyzed, Arav is forced to watch helplessly as this dark marriage ritual is completed. With a horrific scream, the supernatural entity claims Nisha. And then, the entire illusion, the feasts, the decor, the groom, and Nisha herself just turns to smoke and vanishes.
Section 5. The Zamandar's Curse.
Left completely alone in what is now just a dark, decaying ruin, a devastated Arav stumbles outside. And it's here that he finally learns the dark lore of Rudhirpur. Who tells him? That same old woman in the red sari who warned him at the very beginning. So years ago, a cruel Zamindar, a landlord, lived in that bungalow. He systematically sacrificed innocent brides on the night of the new moon, Amavasya, for dark occult powers. In retribution, the desperate villagers actually locked him inside and burned him alive. But his spirit never left. Every single Amavasya, his demonic spirit returns to claim a new bride.
Which brings us to this chilling number. 1. That is the exact number of brides chosen every single Amavasya. One girl who crosses the threshold of the bungalow and never, ever returns. And tragically, on this particular Amavasya, that one chosen bride was Nisha.
So we're going to leave you to ponder this incredibly chilling reality. Knowing that the Zamandar's curse remains entirely unbroken, we really have to ask, is the bungalow already waiting for its next Amavasya bride? Like, who is going to be the next weary traveler to stumble into the unnatural darkness of Rudhirpur? Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer. Until next time, definitely keep your eyes open. And maybe, just maybe, think twice before stepping into an abandoned ruin.